Hello, this is Lisa from Lady Norway Energy Healing, and I'm just doing a quick little collective energies reading for March the 1st, 2026. Now, right off the bat, I woke up this morning coming out of sleep and then into awakeville. That's that sort of liminal space in between, like waking up. And I just heard loud and clear, let the chips fall where they may. So that kind of was going over in my head as I was coming to from my sleep, from my slumber. Let the chips fall where they may. So I feel like also what's come up for me, like I've been doing a little bit of protection work before I go to sleep at night. I've been asking for protection and support from my guides, my angels, archangels, just to protect me, my energy, and myself as I'm going through the astral and dream space. And I feel like it's something that we all should be reminded to do if whoever's doing that. And even if we're not consciously aware that we're doing it, it's still good to go to bed with a little prayer or a little mantra or a little ritual. It doesn't have to be anything grand. You can just ask to have protection before you go to sleep. It's that simple. And that just feels like it could be a reminder that that's a good thing to do. And also I had, when I was opening up for this collective energies reading, and after I did my own reading, I have a symbol. It's coming to be a symbol. I've noticed that it's come up before. It's a black dog running on the beach. And you know what, a dog like of any kind running on the beach is having a blast, chasing birds, and just the freedom of running free and off a leash and untethered, that vibe. And it comes up for me when I'm working with people in hospice quite a bit. And so for me, I think it's sort of turning into a symbol for a crossed over loved one that's coming through and saying, I'm fine, I'm happy, I'm free. So that might be important for someone, relevant for someone in the collective, that there is somebody coming through that is running free. And if you can picture what it's like for a dog to chase birds on the beach, whatever that feeling is, but in human feelings instead of dog feelings. So that metaphor for chasing birds on the beach, and being untethered and being free and being at peace is kind of what's come through. The astrology it's quite loaded in the Pisces house. The energies are kind of quite watery, and you could be feeling a lot of feelings these days. And we're coming up a couple days away from that eclipse in Virgo. So not only are we feeling more, but we might be thinking about why we're feeling that way, or where we're trying to figure it out. And sometimes that can get us stuck in some overthinking. And instead of just letting the flow happen, that watery flow happen, and just like sort of ground ourselves and allow ourselves to feel these feelings instead of trying to figure out why, just maybe realize that things are happening, everything's happening for our highest good and the highest good of all. So try not to be concerned. If you are having big feelings, it's just part of the times, people. It's what's for dinner. And so, there's the Virgo South Node. It's actually Virgo's in the South Node, hence the reason why the eclipse we're having is in Virgo. And this is like, we're working on what needs to be released. We're trying to get things together, and that's a big part of Virgo, is to get systems in order and, checklists. And, you think about making a list and like crossing stuff off. That's very Virgo. It relates to the body, and it's the house of the body, and also it's about being in service to the collective as well. So maybe you're realizing that there's things that you might be wanting to change. Things are coming up thinking like, oh, new eating habits or, exercising habits or things that you might be doing that aren't good for you, people that are in your life that might not be good for you. It can be a lot of things. It can be a job that you're not happy with, or somebody that you work with that is causing you to have, feelings about like, I don't want to deal with that energy. People's energies that aren't necessarily good for you, depending where they are. It could be in your family of origin or where you work, or in your immediate families, siblings, children, whatever, you get the picture. It's things that are starting to, you're feeling them for a reason. And right now with what the astrology is and the energies are kind of asking you to look at these things, but not necessarily try to figure them out, but just kind of like recognize them, and then realize that the things that are going to fall away will fall away, and the things that are meant to stay will stay. And that, the action that you take would be, if your intuition is telling you, if your body's saying to you, this needs to change because of a health reason, for instance, if that shows up, then it's like, okay, you got to look at that. And then you have to take action into what you got to do to make yourself healthier by eating differently, sleeping more, drinking more water, getting out in nature, turning off the phone, or turning off the Netflix or the YouTube or whatever, and getting outside and getting kind of that grounded energy. And there's definitely things are like, all the systems are kind of getting an upgrade, and so how you move through the world is getting an upgrade. And if you feel like you can do things differently, and that stuff is showing up, like in your intuition, the things that need to change or need to be removed, or something or someone, just go with it, because intuition is also getting a big upgrade right now. And the lessons that are here to learn, that's why we're here, is to learn these lessons and to listen more to our bodies and our intuition, and not so much get up into our heads. And you got to be thinking about not thinking but feeling. So that's the difference, I guess. Thinking and feeling are different. And when you feel, instead of feel into things and how that feels in your body, or what, or even to the next level of being, thinking about what someone else would think about whatever it is, you fill in the blanks. I mean, that's another thing I think that's falling away, is when we're moving into authenticity. And this is what this Aquarius eclipse that we had, the 2 weeks ago, that's all about, like, living our authentic lives, and letting your flag fly, and doing things that are benefiting yourself. And that's that compassion for self first, and then compassion for others. But like doing the things that are going to allow you to kind of step up and be in service to the collective, to humanity, to the earth, to the the collective consciousness. That's kind of that's how this started this off, and now we're actually in this next phase, which is then going to be, I think it's July. There's going to be another part to this. Of course, we've got coming up to the equinox, which is also another shifting energy, moving from winter into spring in the astrological wheel. It's the beginning of the astrological wheel in astrology. And it's just the times they are a changing. And it's a funny thing to think about this. Well, that came across this thing about not only feeling things and how they feel, but also like removing that sort of that next sort of thing, which is like what someone else would think about it, because that does play into how we do things. Because even creating content like this, it's not about if you like it or not. It's if it resonates or not. The intention is for me to put this information out, and then if you want, and I'm inviting you to be part of it. And if you would like to be part of it, you say yes, and you listen to it, and you're open to it. But if not, then it's like, oh, well. But there's this part that comes into like, well, if, you like it, you can like it because it helps the algorithm and it helps me get my stuff seen. So there's that sort of push and pull between the two. But it does become in the grand scheme of things, the grand facade. It's about doing things that you want to do, that you feel that you want to do, that are good for you. And whatever that looks like, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's not for everybody. It's not everybody's cup of tea. So, but you just do it because you want to do it. And these energies this is what this is all about. So it's like, stop doing what you think you should do and do what feels good. And stop externalizing your power to other people, be it your partners, your children, your family of origin, society, cultural, whatever, religious, just stop outsourcing all your power and energy to that, and just call it back and just do what makes you happy. Do what lights you up. That's, do that sort of, that inspired action is what we're being called to do. So, and I think when it comes down to it, if you just do what feels right, you will be fine. If we keep moving towards that, what feels right, what we know, and if we just keep doing that, do those things that we're good at, that light us up, and give that back to the world, and that reciprocity of the giving and receiving of energy, and it'll just balance itself out. It will, even though the world is looking, and in some facets it doesn't look like that at all. But I think we have to keep that, we got to hold that vision. And that's what the reading, what we have is the Happy Family card came out, and when on the split it was the High Priestess, and then of course the Two of Swords, and then under that was the Queen of Pentacles, the Four of Wands, and the King of Pentacles, and then underneath was the Empress. I mean, that's a lot right there. And then pave your own way, leadership, courage, forge, don't follow. So that's kind of the thing, like in a nutshell. I was going to say nutsack, that's so inappropriate, pardon me, but nutshell, the pave your own way is having the courage to not follow the norm, or not follow just because this would be something that would be, I don't know why the word palpable is coming up, or palatable. It's palatable, like something that somebody could like listen to and be like, oh, I'm okay with that, or whatever. But sometimes the stuff that people aren't okay with hearing or seeing is what you need to hear and see. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean that it's not for you. Sometimes we need to see stuff that's not great. Sometimes we need to kind of look at things, and that gives us the opportunity to go, hey, wait a minute, this doesn't feel good. So I'm going to have to look at this. So, but I find it that the Happy Family card and the four, it's like two fours. The Happy Family card and the Energy Oracle kind of is like the 10 of Cups and the Four of Wands put together for me. So it's funny that it's being kind of clarified by the Four of Wands, which is the Happy Life card. That's like, that could be marriage, the marriage card. It could be like a celebration. With having the King and Queen of Pentacles on the outside, that feels like almost like ancestral energy. Like, to me, it feels like grandma and grandpa, or great grandma and grandpa energies, not just like mom and dad, but sort of like kind of like wisdom, elder wisdom, and grounded, and like queen of self-care and mastery of care for himself and the planet. Like, this is what this is, and this marriage of those two is where how you pave your own way, how you kind of look up to those energies of those two, the king and queen, which is the masculine and the feminine aspects. That's leadership, and that's courage, to forge and not to follow. So these people didn't actually, the energy here is the one of knowing too, like with the Empress underneath there, just knowing that you have everything you need already. And with Venus there, Venus is somewhere, Venus is with Mercury. Mercury's in retrograde in Pisces, I believe. Yeah, don't quote me on that, but I think it's, anyway, Venus is in the mix here too. And I think Cancer, Jupiter has just gone direct in Cancer as well. So, things are kind of like opening up or expanding. So this energy is kind of expanding. This Empress feminine sort of birthing something new energy, but she knows what she's doing. You know what I mean? As far as how to get the things to manifest and to have that harvest, and to be confident and knowing that in the value, like that's Venus as well, valuing this earthly sort of realm of having what you need, or being able to have what you need. She already knows. That's an innate knowing for her. She knows what to do. Very confident in manifesting and being able to birth something new. And then, of course, with the King and Queen of Pentacles as well, more grounded energy, as well as knowing that it's not about being closed off. Of course, with this, like on the split too, with the High Priestess and the Two of Swords, to me, that's also funny because that was on the split. So that's why I took them, because I thought this is appropriate. It's like almost in my reading I did for myself as well. There was like two sides. It was kind of like, go this way, this will happen. Go this way, this will happen. It's like these are the energies of the two different ways that you could go. You could close off from your intuition and not ignore the signs of what you see and how you feel, and close off your heart and just go with the mind and just think, this is, swords, this is how it is because this is how I think it is. Or you could go with the High Priestess, which is all about that inner knowing, and she's between the black and white pillars there. She's quiet, confident, and she has a deep knowing of what she needs to do. And it's not about external, it's internal. She's very internal, and she has that moon and that watery sort of feminine nature about her, and her intuition is strong, and she trusts it, and she doesn't close herself off like in this Two of Swords. So it's like being open to that intuition, which is what I was saying in that bit of that downloaded part that I got, about being open to how things feel as opposed to what you think what do you think they are, and like just going with the flow, and these feminine sort of representation, and that the ocean and that rainbow and that happy family card, and the similar sort of visuals, and the earthly sort of grounded knowing is what I feel like with this. And then that's how you turn this all into sort of the medicine for the planet and for the collective and for yourself, is basically taking this and moving forward with it, and having it be what you put into the world as a service. It's like you're doing a service to humanity, to the collective, to whatever you want to call it, whatever we're all hooked into, because we all are hooked into that same thing, whether we wanted to admit it or not. We all have that in common. We come from the same place. Deep down, we all come down from that same place, and we are connected on this level that is like, it's our higher self level, and it's accessible. It's more accessible now. So keep your vibes high, come from those places, that higher self view, perspective. Recognize that this vision that you have for yourself and for the world it's doable. Like here's all the things pointing towards it, and it's like you have a choice. This Two of Swords is saying to me, like, yeah, it's rough sometimes out there, and sometimes we don't want to see and hear or feel. I mean, let's face it, with Pisces, and depending on how you are and where you how things are felt. I mean, some people are more in tune with those feelings than others. You know, like they tend to be more sensitive, but we all have that ability. It's just where you want to, what do you want to tap into? And the more we tap into those feelings, that's what's going to happen. You want to be able to have the good feelings, you're going to have to feel some bad feelings too. It's just recognizing where you want to be. Do you want to stay there in those bad feelings, or so-called, whatever, we'll say positive, negative, light, dark, whatever. We don't want to just label stuff, but it's just to explain it. But it's like, where do you want to be? And, you know, it's so much easier sometimes to stay lower. This is where there's these parts of what's happening in the world that can kind of pull you in. So that's that other, maybe this Two of Swords too, it would be like, closing off, not your intuition, but just maybe that coming again, unplugging a little bit from the world's so-called problems that end up getting really ignited on social media platforms and stuff like that. Like maybe pulling out and just going and doing the King and Queen of Pentacles type of thing. And this woman here at the end with paving her own way, and she's outside, climbing up to this mountain, and, bare feet. Got her feet on the ground. She's getting grounded, get that earth energy, that Mother Gaia energy, and balance out these feelings. That's what it's all about. Our bodies are vessels for energy. We're conduits. We are, an amazing creation of being able to be spirit and form. And we can actually, things are meant to move through us, not be held. And what happens sometimes with these types of things is that we hold stuff instead of letting things pass through. And that's where we have to do some more work. And that's where energy work comes into play. And but coming down to the crux of the biscuit here is forge, don't follow. Trust your intuition. A couple more days and we'll be right into that eclipse, and then moving into the next cycle. But this is what I have for you today. I hope you found this helpful. And if you would like to see more of this content, you can like and subscribe. If not, I'm still sending you lots of love and light. And don't forget to check out my website, www.ladynorwayenergyhealing.com. And there's a place there, a contact information sheet that you can fill out if you want to ask a question or book a service. I do all different kinds of energy work, and there's stuff on there for distance energy, Reiki, and a bunch of stuff. So have a peek, and we will catch you on the next one. And bye for now. Ciao.